Hi, Leos, and happy Halloween, and or happy, if you don't celebrate, and happy autumn, or summer in the southern hemisphere. All right, this read is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus, October 2025. All right, I'm using this deck, the Chosen Journey, for instead as just as a change up. Okay, the root chakra, rebuilding your foundation from the ground up. That could be moving, that could be your security, your stability, making sure that you feel safe. And it does start with the foundation, doesn't it? Everything starts with a foundation. Because if we're not happy where we're at, who we are, how we are, it's survival, right? And we really need to know that we can survive anything before we work our way up to the crown chakra. So you could be reassessing certain things in your life, getting more grounded, walking out in Mother Earth, taking long walks always helps. Walking barefoot on the grass always helps. It is about listening to your instincts. You can see the beautiful depiction of, sorry, I do have my candles burning and lights on. This is autumn, even similar to what's behind us here on the set. The colors all depicting autumn. So it is a time of renewal. It's setting new goals. It's establishing what makes you feel really centered, grounded, whole, and more importantly, alive. Right? The root chakra is the chakra that is the mantra LAM. So if you're doing meditation and you want to speak the meditation through, it's LAM. You don't have to do that, but you can. Okay, let's go and see what's happening. So this is survival and being healthy. So your body, look at this. Wow, I love this. Leo, you're in charge. And or you could be dealing with an Aries, but you're acting very Aries-esque as you are the boss. You could be a CEO, you could own your own business, you work for yourself, you don't work at all. You are in charge. And I do love the depiction of perhaps you have ascended into a level of higher consciousness, ascending into self-realization with I see this as the root chakra all the way to what becomes of us in the empowerment of the I am, from root to crown. And that's why he wears the crown. When you get to the crown, you've attained higher consciousness. So Leos, you are totally in charge of your lives here, right? Regrounded, you've done your work. I love this. Yeah, you've been through it. No doubt you have been through it. And that's how you get there. That's how you get from here to here. You have to do the work. And that's what you've done. You've done the 10 of Wands. You've taken a lot of time and you've done your work. Work on self. I love that. Wow. And now you're ready to take off to a new place, a new adventure. Some of you are literally just like, okay, I've conquered, I've sought, I've sowed, I reap what I've sowed, and now, and this is Dharma. You are taking all of this that you've learned and what you've had to do, what you've done, sorry, all the work that you've done on yourself to get from the root to the crown as self-realization, ascension, is now you're going, for some of you, counseling, teaching. You're already doing that. Maybe that is your profession. Spiritual counselors, healers, Reiki masters. You've mastered different essential spiritual gifts that you're taking with you on your journey as a business, as just helping others. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a business, but for some it is, especially when you're the emperor. So the emperor is the master of his and or her domain. I'm going to say his because it is the masculine. We don't have the emperors here yet. So you are the master of your own domain. You've been through a lot to get here. And now you're taking these gifts, you're taking the life lessons, you're taking what you've learned, and you're going to, if you don't already, help others. I love this. Wow, Leos. Some of you, be mindful of your car, oil changes, you know, your, whatever it is, what is it, 5,000 mile checkup. Make sure your car is in order. For some of you, if you are, and especially if you are, well, not especially, but if you're going on a road trip, yeah. But even so, make sure your lights are working, everything's in order. Maybe you just did that, you know. Okay. So, justice. Yeah, making everything's in order. Fair is fair. What's come is gone. What you had to let go of, you've done. You've done your work, Leos. You've done your work. Wow. Everything's in order. Putting things in order. And you've had, whether you know it or not, you always have angelic help. But you do have spirit guides on the other side who have been helping you to move through this. It hasn't been easy. And I will tell you, if you've been through the dark night of the soul and you're coming out of it right now, let's just say you have been guided through it. No one, you know, goes through anything without spirit working through us. Some of you already know that, but I had to say it because that's what it is. Queen of Cups, if you're Leo, if you're dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or if this is you, or whatever in your natal chart you have, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, this is about you coming to really to a place of really feeling how you feel and or finding a more compassionate nature within yourself. So since you've been going through, or what you have been going through, it could have been really, if it's, you know, if it is self-realization, then oh my God, great, ascension. For others, if it's been, you know, you had to break free from things that were no longer serving your highest order, the highest order and for your goodness, then you had to let go of that, but you were also being given guidance to do so, and finding compassion, forgiveness, and endearing love, I'm hearing, with someone. This could be someone who absolutely is a love partner that you are with, and you're venturing into a new life together. Or this is your partner. It's not like, you know, a new partner. I feel like you're already paired with this person, and you're venturing into a new era, and that's why the root chakra is here. That's starting over from the beginning, going through it, right? Relationships of all kinds go through it. That's why we're here. So whether this is love or if this is, whatever partnership this is, you have obtained a level of like rebuilding a foundation after like things, were like things had to fall away. Certain things had to be fixed. Certain things had to be realized. Not just for yourself, Leo, but for this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, perhaps that you're with. Things had to get really put into order, meaning whatever wasn't working. It could have been the on and off again, the give and take in a relationship, who's giving more, who's taking more, this and that. The whole foundation speaks here of a rebuild, and that's from the ground up, right? And that's how we do it. It's cyclical, but if it ends, because it's not ending here, but I'm saying if it can't survive the heart, then it will end. But you have been given, right, a new beginning with this person. A spirit guide has helped you to realize, or them, what it feels like maybe without you, or transitioning into a relationship from being like, if you were out dating, let's say, you've been looking, you're single, and you've been out dating, what have you, and it has been not successful. Well, once you put your life in order, Leo, then that comes into play as, wow, now I'm capable vibrationally of meeting someone on my level. So that too here plays a huge part. So it's a rebuild altogether of a relationship, whether it was an old relationship or a new one, or even one where you're, like besties with your ex, which doesn't happen all the time, but I can tell you that I am. He's already remarried, etc., longer probably than we were together, for almost, for maybe for a year extra or whatever, longer than we were married. And we can maintain and be a family together, but that transition takes a lot of work. So it could be even to that establishing a sense of compassion and love. That's how you get from the root to the crown. In whatever you had to, whatever you had to go through the last 10 months or up to a year, if not longer, you had to go through it so that you could start over again. And that's where the eclipses, where it happens, where eclipses are to really stream out for good the stuff that wasn't working. So you could be in business with your partner, or this partner believes in what you do and helps you, gives you, like, you brainstorm really well together. It could be you're opening up to finding, or spirit is helping because you've been waiting perhaps to meet with new clients, or you're getting new clients, they're coming to you. And that's the difference, is when you're working on yourself and putting everything behind you, and everything then gets in order, where you attain emperor status, you now have the capacity to vibrationally pull in what it is that you've been looking for and hoping for, whether that be love, business, partnerships, whatever. And you do have a solid relationship that backs you up. This person backs you up. and does brainstorm well with you. So if it's not a group of people, it is this person helps you moving on your path and helps you to find new, ideas. What, you work really well together. What do you think about this or whatever? I'm not saying opinions. I'm saying they offer advice, good advice to maybe, help your business grow, to help you get more clients, to help you be seen. Also, the Emperor with the Queen of Cups is someone who's seen in the public eye and is noted as someone who has a really good reputation. They're noted. They're a notable, honorable, someone with integrity. Okay, this could be the Divine Feminine, which could be the Queen of Cups is the Divine Feminine. So whether you're a feminine or masculine, this could also mean that the feminine is like, an alpha. If she's feminine, if she's a feminine. If she's masculine, it could be also that too. So if you're feminine or masculine, you are, I should say, sorry, you are more an alpha than you are, holding back this person, or it's you, or both are like that. The Divine Feminine calls you also, Leos, to bring in your femininity, bring in more feminine into your world. What do they say? You can catch more, bees with honey, right? It's being more considerate, more open-minded, flex. You're not, you've put yourself in that emperor status for a reason. And that is what a leader does. A leader helps others to see that. They lead by example. A love message. So if you're separated from someone, you're going to be receiving a message of love from someone. So if there was a separation, this person's coming in to send you a message of love. And wow, massive regret. Ooh. So Leos, if you're in separation with someone and you've been rebuilding and re-establishing almost to the point where you're rebranding yourself and they know it, they're reaching out because first of all, they don't want to lose you. Someone doesn't want you to move on. Yeah. And someone may have had to step up to the plate while you've been taking charge of your life. Maybe over the past 10 months, someone else had to kind of catch up. But they're going to let you know how they regret. Someone's going to say, I regret whatever I did, whether you're with them or not. Someone's opening up, that's the feminine, opening up to how they really feel about something that happened. So the message doesn't have to be a text. It could be a verbal, I'm sorry I fucked up. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I regret treating you this way. I regret not seeing you clearly. You know what I mean? So you're going to be getting some kind of a message like that, whether you're with them or not, it doesn't matter. It is a very sweet, compassionate message of love here. Some of you, oh, that's interesting. All right, some of you, I am literally doing this as a personal read for you. If you aren't getting readings from another, this is your sign that I'm helping you, guide you, Leos, through a time of uncertainty of where you're going and giving you hope for this relationship. Because someone does regret a lot of stuff because someone feels it may be too late. So time is the most valuable and precious gift that Spirit gives us here on the earth plane, right? We only have a certain amount of time. And we realize, especially today, in today's, you know, in everything going on in today's world out there, that it doesn't matter how old you are. When your time is up, it's up. Everyone's physical vessel is going from dust to dust. Okay? So we do, as humanity, mankind, we've been taught to fear that. But there's a time, I think, that once you level up and you grow up, that you realize that time is the most valuable asset that we have, and not to waste it regretting, not telling someone, or doing stuff over and over again. Like the boy that I feel like with this guy, I feel this guy is like the boy that cried wolf. I promise to, whatever. I promise not to gamble. I promise not to drink so much. I promise blah, blah, blah. And then they do go back. Same old, same old. I feel it's that kind of a regret. And that maybe either you or this person you're with gave an ultimatum of some sort, whether or not you can stop or whether you can or you can't, it doesn't matter. I just feel like, someone may be saying, I'm packing my bags if you can't, get your shit together, right? And time is, someone feels like it's too late, And what's really sad about if you think it's too late for you is that then this regret, massive regrets, it says, this regret turns into resentment, anger, so many emotions when we get to that level of regret. Spell love. I feel that the person you're with, or it's you, Leo, don't realize or didn't realize what magnitude of love you have here, or someone has, like you may have, let's just say, you may have thought someone literally put a spell on you because you're so in love with this person, or they are with you. That's when you get to this 10 of Wands where you gotta right? You gotta do something for this relationship to remain intact, or to get back together and rebuild from the ground up. It's like a do-over. Someone wants the do-over, right? And realizes, they realize, someone has come to the realization that I fucked up and I want another chance. Look at how many times, and look at how many, right, versions and visions of how this person is going to try to get back to a new chance. Whether it's a text, whether it's a gift, whether it's a letter, whether it's, let's get together for dinner, something here is happening. The world. Someone is saying, you could be dealing with a foreign person, or you've been maybe traveling to foreign lands, and this trip, maybe this is what it took for some of you Leos. Maybe a trip with your lover or loved one or your person, whatever, friend, lover, sacred love, true love, whatever. Maybe someone said, let's go on this trip together. Let's go wherever, right? So maybe during this trip, things were resolved, right? Or it's in October that you're taking this trip. Or you're coming back from a trip. Whatever it is, this is the month to do it, and or someone realizes how much love they have for another. Absolutely, here it is. So, yes, I will, says the one with regret. Yes, I will, honor and obey. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it is part of the sacred union of two people who are married, but it doesn't just mean for those who are married. It means, listen, we have to be disciplined, and we have to find a sense of respect for another to a level of, how much do you really love someone? And more importantly, how much do you love yourself? That's what you're definitely, right? Because you're finding, or someone is, finding whatever avenue of options and choices and ways of getting back that loving feeling. This is what that is. And really, truly rebuilding, like I don't care how long, let's just say you've been married 10, 12 years, right? Some of you are renewing vows, right? Others of you are saying, oh my God, if something doesn't change here, I'm going to lose this person. And I'm sorry, but I am going to say, for some of you who are in separation, or it's already someone walked out of your life because they couldn't get their shit together, then so be it. But there are 3 different ways of seeing this right now. But the thing is, however you look at this and however you want to spin it, the truth is someone has leveled up and the other person had to get there. And whether you did or they did or not is going to be determined in October. All right. I love you guys. Have a great month. Take care.